Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday. This is your video game market report for the week of June 28th, 2024. We're ending June on a pretty high note. We'll be going live tomorrow on our usual broadcast that's on Sundays. A little bit of scheduling popped up. So the team will be going on tomorrow morning. We'll be doing a giveaway if I get 26 live. I'll try and do a giveaway on this channel. Let's do if I get 150 views on this, I'll give away a video game that's sealed for free. So just make some comments in the comment section. Obviously, we're not live today. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone's support for these videos. I don't get a lot of traction on these guys, but I feel like it's a growth segment that I want to talk about more and learn more about. So if you guys do me a favor, click that like button. Tell everyone that isn't maybe not into comic books, but more into video games and curious of what the market is doing for video games. Let them know about the channel. We're almost at 700 subscribers, so I just want to thank everyone for their support. This week's market report was a little, I would say, more specific. Titles you guys will probably know. I did throw a couple Grails or just ones that I've just never heard of before in here. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. It was kind of a labor of love this week for sure. So, but again, just want to end the month on kind of a fun note here. But without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah, there are some pretty cool. I always say this, but I felt there's some pretty cool ones here, especially in regards to Pokemon. I found a really cool Pokemon Grail that I've never heard of before. The Pokemon game I'm gonna call out here. I never played GameCube, so GameCube's kind of a more learning segment for me. I think there's some value you could find there. I think a lot of people that are into video games right now that are collecting 64 is like a very good system to invest in CIB, I feel, because you can manipulate the condition of the cardboard a little bit, right? And maybe find some deals. But I feel like GameCube was like an underserved system that didn't get as much love as it should have because it's kind of wonky looking console, all that. But yeah, we'll get into it in a little bit. But this first game I'm pretty sure everyone knows about. I didn't play it myself, but I feel like it's a good one to talk about. So when you're thinking about doing video games, I think the easiest way to do it is, or to invest in it, is just to basically, you know, I think you just have to go off of stuff that you know. And Mario is a very well-known franchise. This is the first N64 Mario game from what I remember. And when I thought of this, when I saw this game come to the 64 console, I was like, oh, that's really cool. They're gonna do, they're gonna do some stuff. Yeah, they're gonna do some stuff like, I don't know, similar to Super Mario World, or sorry, the Super Nintendo Mario. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that they're doing for 64. I didn't play 64 that much. I was more of a Bond guy. So yeah, it was I thought it was pretty cool. But great game, from what I heard from people. I didn't really look at the market prices on these guys here. So let's just take a look here. Nintendo Mario 64. And Mario Kart obviously is like the one game that everybody knows. Let's see here. Maybe let's just do it better. Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64. Okay. So $80 for CIB. And again, like if you're able to get one, that's a player's choice. That's like a reprint or like a second edition of that. But even not for a resale. So that's kind of a different one. There's not that many for sale. The actual game is, but like CIB, like $129.99. Let's see if that's like a good price to get into, or maybe you want to get a little bit. Maybe you want a little bit of meat on the bone, trying to offer a little bit lower. So a 9.0 went for, and this is June. Wow, 10 grand for 9.0 factory sealed. Excuse me. So I don't know if there's any CIB that's sold here, but let's take a look. 1,092 for, wow, player's choice sealed. Complete in box with manuals. Wow, it's pretty. So CIB for an 8.5. I mean, that's pretty good. if you can find a really good copy, let's say you get a 7.0, you could flip that for like maybe 350 to 400. It's possible to maybe find one in a good condition. Hold on one sec. Okay, yeah, and yeah, I think that's just a great easy one. People know this game. It's just one of the first games that ever came out for N64, so that might be good potential. I would look into maybe getting one in a 7.0 for like $100, pressing it, make it nice and clean, and then see what the market says. But again, N64 Mario World for Nintendo 64. So yeah. All right, next we got DuckTales for the Nintendo system. Give me one second. Yeah, DuckTales, Nintendo. I remember this game was a pretty fun game playing as a kid. It was, it's funny. I think back on this is they basically just took like Mario World gameplay and put it in DuckTales. Um, you know, yeah, I think the graphics are pretty clean on this too. From my memory, but I remember going to Blockbuster and renting this game, and I should just bought it because like I ran it like 8 times because I had so much fun playing it, but it just definitely brings back a lot of memories for me. I don't know if the potential with DuckTales is like a investment or what have you. I mean, it's a well-known property, but like as far as the video game's concerned, I don't it might be a little tough. But I thought about this game because of the new DuckTales or Uncle Scrooge comic book variants came out this week, and I was like, oh man, that's what reminds me of the old DuckTales game. But let's take a look at the market and see what they're thinking. Okay, DuckTales, Nintendo. 14, wow, rare sealed version of this guy. So I guess the market does like it. So 1380 for sealed version 8.5. Holy cow, I had no idea. So DuckTales 2, I didn't even know there's a DuckTales 2. Let's see here. Let's see. Wow, 9.4 just for the cartridge. Holy cow. That is amazing. I am just completely baffled by this. 7.5 for DuckTales CIB, 200. So this is definitely garnering a premium. That's a signed version, so don't get that twisted. Oh, Wii U, you can get a Wii U version of this game. Pretty cool. I'm very happy about this. So I guess there is some liquidity with this game. Let's look at 850. Probably don't want that. 2250 for the game. Nintendo Power. Well, okay. Well, maybe we'll do a magazine report one of these days. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, nonetheless, DuckTales, the Nintendo version. I had no idea that it was that strong of a game. But CIBs are going for like 150 to 200. It's a little rich for my take. I don't think it's worth it to me personally for like a collector standpoint. But man, yeah, if you're trying to relive those nostalgia memories of DuckTales, then there you go. You're gonna pay a pretty penny. We're about almost 10 minutes into the show. I just want to again thank everyone for their support. I'm going to try and keep the show a little bit slower today or shorter today just because I got some stuff going on. But again, click that like button. If I get 150 views on this report, I will give away a game. Just make some comments in the live or the not the live, but the actual chat. And yeah, if I get 150 views within a week, I'll send you off a game. And we'll probably need about 12 hours too. Let's just do that. We'll do 150 views, at least, 12 hours viewed on this video. I'll send out a free sealed game for somebody. So on the next Spider-Man PS4, I feel like this game really paved the way for Spider-Man Insomniac, specifically the Insomniac publishing company, to really dive into a rich franchise and to really dive into the storytelling of a video game, and then they paired it with amazing gameplay. I mean, this game is played over and over again, and it's spawned a couple sequels. The latest PS5 game, I could not put the controller down. I mean, the story was so rich, the gameplay was excellent, and it's just a really fun franchise. I hope Insomniac. I mean, I hope Marvel Studios takes kind of a recognition to the writers at Insomniac because they're doing some good work over there, definitely. But I don't know if this is like a one to invest in like graded. I would try and find a raw sealed copy of this game. It's fairly new. I would even maybe go as far as to say maybe grab the console in a pretty good condition at PS4. It's one of the last PS4 games that I can remember. But nonetheless, let's take a look at the market. I was just really curious at this one. Um, let's see here. PS4 Spider-Man. So you could get the Miles Morales game. I wouldn't get the Game of the Year edition. I'd probably get the launch edition. So let's try and look for the launch edition. Sealed. Oops. I don't know if they did sealed editions of the launch edition though on PS4. So they did them for the Miles Morales game, but I don't know if they did them for the Spider-Man game. Maybe not. Okay. Let's see. All right, PS4 Spider-Man sealed. So, I mean, the console's going for $850. That's a premium of over like $300 for the game. There's a collector's edition for $400. That might be a nice one to get as well. Yeah, $215 for a PS4 game sealed. I mean, that's pretty good. 9.2. That sucks. Would not get the Game of the Year edition. That's a reprint, peeps. $100 for, wow, that's really expensive. Maybe I would just get a 9.8 for investment purposes because I feel like this game's going to do well later down the road. There's not a lot. Well, let's look at the listings just for fun. Okay, wow. This guy wants a 9.8. He wants $1,500 for a 9.8. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. You can get that seal, get that graded 9.8, and I might even buy this one for $30. It's hard to tell which ones are first prints or not. There's not that much data on first prints on this guy. Maybe you could find this at a Best Buy or the Best Buy might still have it. I'm not really sure, but unless I think that's kind of a future one to really look into. You think of the modern video games that you invest in that you could maybe still find on shelves. PS4, I'm still trying to do a little bit more research to see, but it's not that many. But I would say this one's a definitely for sure bet because of Spider-Man. He's always going to do well, and you've seen it with the PlayStation games that came out for PS2. Those do really well today. So next up, we got Baldur's Gate 3. Now, this game was like white hot when it came out last year for the PC specifically. I know there's a PS5 version. I know there's an Xbox One version or whatever. And those collector's editions actually were a nice flip. If you were able to get them for like 100, you could flip for like 200, 250 when it came out. Talking real fast there. Sorry, guys. But this was the Game of the Year of 2023. And when they made the Game of the Year announcements, this special edition for the PC went for $1,600 to $2,000. It's a huge box, so it's quite a bit of stuff to hold on to. But I was curious of where it's going today. So let's take a look. Baldur's Gate 3 PC Collector's Edition. So yeah, this one, this was going for like $1,600. Guys asking for quite a bit. Let's see. On PC. Okay, so I got the PC version. So probably just cooled down quite a bit. That usually happens, right? It's not going to just keep going up. This isn't NVIDIA stock. So 142.50. This is the one that came out most recently, and that's cooled off quite a bit. 118. So the hit was to when you bought it, you needed to flip it right away because it was sold out. You couldn't get a copy of it. Man, I can't believe this is going for like $2,000 last year. Oh, what the hell just happened? Oops. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, $1,300. The PS5 version, I don't know. Let's see, PS5. The game is really fun. It's really tough, though, I heard as well. I probably wouldn't buy this in the PS5 version. I'd go for a collector's edition if you're trying to invest in the game. It's a really tough game to play. I think you have to be like, I think Wade was telling me, it's like if you don't know Dungeons and Dragons kind of fluidity, then you're going to have a tough time playing this game. But yeah, that's a definite pop and drop, but not a huge drop, just a drop. I think probably a flood of them came on the market when people were seeing them going for 1,600 after the Video Game Awards came out. I mean, essentially, the Video Game Awards for this game was kind of like when a movie comes out or a trailer comes out. That's the time to sell it. So people time this perfectly if you were trying to, flip this when you first got it. But nonetheless, I mean, it still has some value. The MSRP of that was like $400. So I mean, you still have value there if you got an MSRP. But if you invested $1,600, you're probably not doing so well. And you probably have to hold on to it for quite a bit. This was a random one. I wanted to throw some just kind of random stuff out there, but Rayman from the Atari Jaguar. I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was a kid, there was a console war. And I remember going into, gosh, what was that place called? I think Magnolia Hi-Fi was the place, or maybe it was a different shop. Probably was Magnolia Hi-Fi. It was a really high-end electronics store. It was Best Buy before Best Buy, but it was very small. And they had a CD Walkman, and they had a Jaguar, Atari Jaguar, a Panasonic 3DO, all these different games or systems. And they were like 300 to $500, which back then was essentially like $2,000, And I wanted a Panasonic 3DO so bad, but I remember the Atari Jaguar was pretty cool. The funny thing is everybody was having a system that was coming out, so you didn't really know where to go. Nintendo was still, I think, the really big one. Sega still was making inroads, but the graphics is what these companies were like, we're going to pump out amazing graphics, but not have any content to back it up. Well, we all know kind of what happened. Sony comes through. Sega kind of faltered. But they knew they made really good games, and Nintendo at the time just came out with more stuff. And I think the problem with these games was it was just too expensive. You had to invest hundreds of dollars into a new system with 4 or 5 games that looked cool but weren't played very well. Anyway, that's kind of my spiel. But I thought it was kind of funny to look at like just the old dead, video games that came out. And Rayman, I don't know if this game is worth anything, but yeah, I guess it is. Okay, so it's $99 for just the game, $366.22 for a CIB version. I have no idea what kind of nostalgia this hits. This is probably just very niche. So I would be very careful in trying to flip this, but I would probably try and do something like this and just get like a really nice version, CIB, try and press the box, have it completed, obviously. But this is an expensive game. And I think in this collecting market, what I'm finding is like a lot of games that are very niche are kind of tough to flip. You really have to just be able to have the foresight for it. What do you look for? I would say rarity. I would say print run. Just look up just information that to you as a collector makes sense to invest or purchase a price. And if you're like, okay, this is probably one to go after, just, a majority of these I find are like buy it nows or offer nows type deals. So either the seller has a really low margin on these games, or they really want to keep the game, but everyone has their price, right? So anyway, I thought that was really cool. I honestly had no idea what the value of this game was, but that was a pretty fun exercise for sure. And of a dead system, but unfortunately, it's a dead system. But fortunately for us collectors, there's some collectability in these games. A goodie that I think everybody knows, not only from the comic books, from specifically this early 2000s game, Knights of the Old Republic. You always know a game is good if they redo it or revamp it in different graphics on a different system. And this game has been reissued, redone on several systems. I think they're doing a remake that's supposedly going to be due next year. Everyone's waiting for it. Rich storyline. I tried playing the game in its original kind of like graphics and stuff. It was really hard for me to play. But everyone I know that played this game was like, this is the greatest Star Wars game of all time. And again, a rich story, Darth Revan, all that stuff, pretty cool. And I can't see here. But yeah, let's take a look at the market and see what the market's saying. Let's see here. Knights of the Old Republic. I'm gonna look at the Xbox specifically. So there, yeah, there's platinum hits version. That's the second one, just to FYI. All right, 720. So these are all CIB. I don't know if I would go for a CIB in this game. That would be one of those, like, you'd have to experiment type deals, and I just wouldn't be comfortable doing that. So you complete box goes for like $15. I don't think there's a lot of collectability in a complete box of this game. For now, I mean that eventually might change, but I mean 750 for a sealed version, a very highly printed game. So 510. Yeah, you're gonna have to go for a sealed one on this guy. And I think the seals on these Xbox, on this Xbox version, they're good. So, all right, 1500 for a 9.8. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, these aren't sealed; they're tested. So I don't know why it's coming up with tested. Huh. Well, I think if you're a fair price is $500 for a sealed version of this game, and I think that's the way to go. I for at this point, I probably wouldn't go a CIB there because there's so many of them out there, but a sealed version does go for good money for sure. I wanted to do some more specific, like inline, like currently like very hot properties, and so One Piece was the one I wanted to look into. I can't remember if I've done this before on One Piece, but let's take a look. I may have done it on the Run and 5 show. PS2. So let's see. Fighting for One Piece. That's not the one we're looking for. It's Grand Battle. One Piece Grand Battle demo disc. That's kind of cool. Okay. Huh. There's not that many versions of this. Grand Adventure. Okay, let's see. Grand 68 bucks for, I think that's a CIB. Um 59.80. Yeah, CIB goes for pretty good money, so I'm not mad at CIB. 59.99. I mean, this is something that you may want to think into doing for the long term, just because that One Piece is such a well-known property. I mean, 60 bucks for a CIB One Piece, I'm not mad at that. You know, sometimes it's good to go CIB versus rare or sealed. But yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. 49.95. Let's see highest price. And there's not, I mean, as you guys can see, there's not that many. It's not a lot of these out there. So this might be like a, what do you call, like a low print run video game. And I saw some PS2 versions out there, but if you can find the GameCube version, I feel like, again, GameCube being not a very well collected system as of right now, but maybe in the near future that's going to pop up. It might just spike crazy. There are several other One Piece games out there, but I was looking at this Grand Adventure one specifically. So, yeah, One Piece, good stuff. 60 bucks for a good CIB version. I mean, and just hold on to it for a little bit. Maybe buy a couple copies. Might be worth it. This is kind of the one that I really want to highlight for the GameCube. When I was looking up various GameCube games, I was like, wow, this game is like crazy to me. I don't even know if I haven't looked at the eBay sales for this, but I imagine that they're going to be really high. I don't know if anyone's a big Pokemon fan. I'm particularly not so much, but I do appreciate the medium. I do appreciate the value of these different various types of like properties and like games or whatever. But supposedly this is the GameCube like Grail, not Pokemon Grail, but the GameCube Grail, supposedly, from the articles I read and whatnot. So let's take a look. Pokemon box for the GameCube. Okay. Wow, 4,499 for this, and this is the big box variant? I guess it's really rare. Obviously, you guys can tell this is my grail of the week. Holy cow, 2,000 bucks for this game. That is insane. It came out in 2004. Man, can you imagine stumbling upon this, like, at a garage sale or something? I might just go for the Japanese version just to have a copy, but, obviously from what we just saw, it's the GameCube American version. And you might wanna go on from Australia, you might get a discount there, but holy cow. Um, that's crazy. I had no idea. Um, who knows? Maybe we go strategy guy. Let's see. Let's see what strategy guys go for. Oh, okay, so there's none. Okay. Jason's gonna be all upset at my strategy guys. Okay, strategy. Okay, let's see if there's any for sale. There's a Japanese version. Doesn't really do it for me, but man, if you're trying to get a copy of this, man. Okay, let's go the highest prices. And again, I mean, like you guys saw, I mean, look at that 15 grand. It's sealed. I guess there you go, man. 7,500. That's the same value of like a Hulk 181. That's crazy, man. That's pretty cool. I like that. Huh. Anyway, well, there you have it with the Pokemon box. That's the Grail pick of the week. I got one more slide for just for fun, but again, I just want to thank everyone for your support. Click that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll keep doing these, or I'll keep doing these market reports. But again, if I get 150 views on this in about 12 to 15 hours of just viewed time, I'll do a giveaway of a sealed game that I have just for free, just for supporting the channel. And yeah, hit that like button, let everybody know about the videos that we do, and I'll keep doing them. So last but not least, I was actually looking up this. I saw this like on a reel or something that I was watching on Instagram, and I never heard of this PSX Sony deal, but evidently it was only in Japan, and it's just really cool. I've seen values of this go from 200 to 1,000, depending on like how it displays. But I would just love to have this as like a conversation piece. Maybe plug it into an old TV just for fun to have it be used. But essentially, it's a PS2, it's a CDR, and it's a DVD player all in one. Again, this was only in Japan, so you can only get this in Japan. The ones I found were directly shipped from Japan, but it's a PSX Sony. Without further ado, let's just get into it. I just thought it was a cool piece to have. And the fact it's called PSX is really cool too. PSX. Okay, that's not okay. So 3,231. Let's see, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Had to take a quick wardrobe change here, but yeah, so this is purely just for fun. I wouldn't invest in this so much because it's not as well known, but I just thought it was a really cool piece. Like you get a controller with this guy. I mean, look at that. That's pretty cool. But let's see what the actual sales are going for this on this guy. Um, so 1,500. I mean, it's with the whole box, and everybody wants the box. I actually wouldn't mind paying for just the console and just to have it. I think it'd be so cool just to have it and be like, what the hell is that thing? Oh, let me show you. That's kind of cool. Custom modified one. Man, I remember when the PS1s were you can mod your PS1 and play like burned games. I was like, those were the days, man. That's really tight. I might just buy that just for fun. I probably won't, but anyway. Well, cool. That's the end of our show today. And I had a little bit of wardrobe change. I'm going to the Mirror game tonight. It's Filipino night at the Mirror game. So thanks again for everyone's support. Thanks for watching, and click that like button, subscribe to all your friends. And again, I'll do a giveaway. If we get 150 views in about 12 to 15 hours of view time on this video within a week, I'll give away a sealed game as a thank you to everyone. And make comments in the comment section, please. That helps me kind of know who's looking at the shows and maybe partake in some more things like to the viewers and all that. So you all have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow on the regular show instead of Sunday, and you all take care.